Welcome back, everybody, to Speed Dogs presents Speed Dogs. I am here with Infinity Gene, bringing us Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage 40 Orb category. Gene, take it away.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, I'm Infinity Gene, and welcome to Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage, or if you're from the PAL region, Gateway to Glimmer, because that was an exciting name for the PAL region, wasn't it? You know, talking about the very first level in the game's title. But anyway, we're going to get started. Time doesn't start until we basically gain control, so we're just going to go and overwrite this save. Normally, we don't do saves in our runs just because obviously saving tends to be slower. But we're in a marathon and we want to be marathon safe, so let's just let's play it a little bit safe here because this game has a few instances where it can crash. But yeah, Spyro 2 pretty much takes place directly after the events of Spyro 1. The adventure does begin in 3, 2, 1, and go. So, we start our new adventures straight away from Spyro 1, where Spyro needs a bit of a break after defeating Nasty Nork in the world of dragons. I don't know if it's actually got a world name of the world. I think it's got a world name. We're going to use the world of dragons. So, to start off with, we're going to be lighting up these lanterns in the cave at the moment. I have to do a little bit quick here, so that's why I'm trying to speed along. But these lanterns here will allow us to get our very first orb. Orbs are used as our sort of main collectible in the game. And we go, that's all 6. And then we're going to skip all these text boxes. Unfortunately, we don't speak to Roo, but we do take his lovely orb. So basically, the plot of this game is Ripto has suddenly come into the world of Avalar, and I nearly fell off then. And basically, Ripto wanted to just cause trouble, and he brought his villains Gulp and Crush, not in the right order there. And basically, he just wants to cause chaos. That's just what every villain in any video game or any sort of villain world thing wants to do, just cause chaos. But Spyro, of course, came, and Ripto doesn't like dragons. So, of course, Spyro went bleh, and then Ripto went yeah. So, there you go. And with that, we've got our second orb. It is quite hot today as well, so I've got the fan just on low, so you might hear it in the background as well. But yeah, so basically, Spyro is here to save the day again from the evil villains, in this case, Ripto. And at the end of each world, or each level, we gain a talisman. Talismans are essentially our sort of collectible for the level. And then basically, we'll use those to unlock the boss areas. And now we're going to move on to the first hub of the game, Summer Forest. Summer Forest has numerous amount of levels. Pretty much all the levels are unlocked at the beginning of the game. However, some of them are blocked off by Moneybags paywalls. As you can see, Moneybags falling into the lava pit on the webcam footage on the left. I assure you these animations are not in the game, but I wouldn't complain if they were. I have made a few custom animations with his model quite recently. So, we're moving into Idle Springs. Idle Springs is it's a bit of a calm, basic level. It's kind of like an introduction to how the rest of the game is going to pan out. So pretty much each level you're going to have enemies all over the place. Enemies will either go and whack you or they'll shoot projectiles at you. It's pretty much what you'd expect from a typical Spyro game. As I said, the main objective on this run is to collect 40 orbs. 40 orbs allows us to enter the Ripto boss fight the legitimate way. You can actually enter the boss fight without 40 orbs, but of course in this category we're not going to be doing that. But we're going to be doing some shenanigans along the way. One of the early shenanigans you might be seeing already is the ability to double jump. Now, this is not an intended mechanic, but of course that doesn't matter because we're speedrunners and we take advantage of those unintended mechanics. So double jumping allows us to basically gain additional height from pretty much any location. So as it implies, it's essentially a double jump. And as I bonk into the wall there, we're going to skip past these two enemies because we've already got plenty of enemy kills. In the top right, you'll be seeing a spirit counter. So in Spyro 2, specifically, when you kill an enemy, they don't drop gems, they drop spirits. And those spirits are used to use power-up gates, which we're about to approach the first one. So basically, with this first one here, we're going to be getting a sort of supercharge ability, which allows us to smash into these little idle pillars to save all the I don't know what they are really. The dancers, who then obliterate the tiki in the middle, and they give us a lovely orb for our trouble. And with that, we are done with Idle Springs. Again, pretty short level. Most levels are going to be pretty short as well, early on, but then later on there's going to be a few longer levels. But yeah, it's not too bad to begin with. The problem though with the beginning of the game is gem management. And you'll be seeing me gathering quite a lot of gems, because unfortunately in Spyro 2, we do have to pay money bags at times. And there's kind of no way around it in the case of 14 Talisman and 40 Orb categories. Any percent, you don't actually have to pay him a single penny. But in this category, we have to gather quite a numerous amount of gems. So to begin with, we need to get 500 gems in total. This is an optional purchase, because some runners are able to skip this purchase, and this purchase will allow us to swim in the game. Because for some reason, Spyro doesn't know how to swim right now. It's a bit of a shame, really, that we have to pay to learn how to dive in the water, but hey, that's money for you. That's just money bags. Just wants to try and rip us off. Any chance we can. Any chance he can, I should say. So, into Colossus here. We're going to do some double jumps up here to get up to this ledge here. It's fine if we fall off, because we can just go over here and try again. So we turn around, double jump over there. I'll explain how double jumping works in a moment. I just want to get up here. And go up here. Whoops. Try again. Nice. There we go. Bonk into the little statue there, just for good luck. And then we speak to the professor, who we saw ever so briefly at the intro cutscene. The professor basically has a few tasks for us along the way, and he has some lovely orbs in his pockets, which for some reason he doesn't want to give to us immediately. He just holds onto them and thinks, well, hang on, you've got to do something for me first before I give you any of the orbs that you need to help defeat the villain that's taken over our world. We're going to see some of that in the game as well with some other NPCs later, such as Hunter. Zoe is not one of those NPCs. Zoe is just in the way. She tries to give us advice that we do not need, and yeah, it's advice that should have been really told at the beginning of the game, really. Like, it tells us about sparks, like, sort of in the hub world, and not the first level. It's a bit confusing, that considering you can take damage in that first level. So with that, the Colossus Talisman is collected, but we're not done yet. We still have another orb to collect, and that is from the little statues that we're burning and defeating the evil spirits in those. I'm going to try and do a double jump up here. This is one of the easy ways to get up here, but there is a different way you can do, which is a little bit quicker. But I prefer this route because it gives me more gems. We're a little bit under on gems at the moment, so we're going to try and make sure that we can pick up all these, and then we're going to fall down, grab the 5 there, and go around here for the 15. So we need 500 gems to begin with to get the ability to swim, so that's why I'm just swooping up as many as I can. Getting too many gems isn't necessarily a bad thing, because you'll be needing gems later on anyway to unlock certain levels. So with that, we're going to go over here, glide over to the platform here, which we broke earlier. Burn this one for number 7. Oh, had a bit of a slowdown there. Not a problem. Turn around, burn that one. And then we proceed to the last 2 statues. We're going to try and burn that one immediately, but we've missed. That's not a problem. We're a little bit under on gems still. But we'll get up number 4, and then we're done with Colossus. So yeah, to explain double jumping, basically you are jumping and then immediately pressing square, so it's like jump square, but while holding down jump. But you've got to time it, because otherwise if you time it too late, you don't actually get it. If you hold it longer, you get a higher jump. If you hold it for not as long, then yeah, you go a little bit lower. Now that we have 500 gems, we can get our swim ability. While he's explaining how to swim, we're going to ignore him and just go over to Hunter, which is a bit more interesting because he's actually got an orb for us, and interrupt him. Unfortunately, Hunter is not our best friend, as people might think. Hunter has many orbs in his pocket for the entire run, and we kind of hate him for that, really, because there's a certain level later on which many people might be familiar with. I'm not going to spoil it if you don't know. But there's a certain level where he's holding 2 orbs in his pocket on one of the hardest minigames, and it's not nice. So with that, we get orb number 5 for our little gliding tutorial. And now we're going to do an unintended jump here. and glide over to this orb. So this orb normally you would have to swim for, but if you do a double jump and time it right, you can get that one for orb number 6. And now we're going to introduce swimming in the air, or air swims as we call it. So we're going to go over here, we're going to charge in this corner here. Going to wait till the water level's a bit higher. Just going to wait a second. Oh, nearly. Sometimes you have to brute force it a little bit. It's usually quite an easy trick. There we go. And with that, you can swim in the air. And that's going to be one of the mechanics that we take advantage of in this run. In Spyro 2, it's not used as much, mainly because you don't usually have the ability to swim anyway, if you're doing some of the faster routes. But in Spyro 3, for example, air swimming is kind of one of the main components of the run. Like, you need to learn how to air swim in many areas to basically take advantage of collecting lots of eggs in Spyro 3. But in Spyro 2, we use it here and there just to get a few orbs, and you will see it again one more time later on. Moving on to Horikos, which has our beloved voice actor, which you might find sounds a bit familiar. I'm going to let you listen in when we get to him, and then see if you recognise his voice. I'm sure most of you already know who it is probably at this point, but if not, we're going to have a brief little glimpse of his voice right now.
Thanks for...
If you can't get it yet, don't worry, there'll be another bit of speech coming up in a moment. So now we're going to do a double jump up here, and then we're just going to go all the way to the right here, and then we're going to fall down out of bounds, and then fall down to these vases to get some more gems, and to get the Ender level talisman. Simple as that. So that's for the Horikos talisman, and now we're going to go get one more orb before we finish the level. And now we're going to get these baskets. We can walk through this fence, because when you walk through the opposite way, there is actually no collision, so you're fine. So here we're going to go into the corner and just have a bit of squeeze, and then hopefully get a proxy, which basically allows us to ascend great heights. But that's actually perfectly fine. And now we get orb number 10. So we're already 10 orbs down.
The next, remember to press triangle.
And yes, for anyone mentioning it in chat, yes, that is the voice of SpongeBob. It's kind of interesting that, because you can't unhear it now, and it's kind of something you kind of recognise anyway. Like, when you hear it, you're thinking, oh, hang on, that sounds like SpongeBob. And, yeah, it's pretty cool. So, but yeah, Tom Kenny's such a great voice actor. He's been doing it for so many years, hasn't he? So it's like, it's great to see them in, like, video games too as well, other than just the SpongeBob franchise as well. Right, moving on to Sunny Beach, which is not my favourite level right now. It's actually one of what I call one of the gatekeepers of the run. So, to begin with, we're going to jump on this turtle. We're not going to bump into the turtle, because we respect the turtles on this level. We want to save as many turtles as possible. So we're going to go and jump on his back, and obviously get those vases that we did. We're going to go around here, grab these gems, and then we're going to jump up here. There are these turtles in these boxes here, but we don't save them, unfortunately, because that would waste time. Gonna get these gems instead, though. We prefer the gems rather than the turtles in the boxes, you know. So we're gonna get all those. We've got quite a nice amount of gems at the moment, so we still need quite a lot for later. So we'll just get those over time. We're gonna burn this duck, I guess. I think it's a duck. And now we're gonna try and attempt to proxy on this turtle here. And don't worry, the turtle won't get injured. You know, we respect the turtle. We're just gonna get bonked a little bit. Right, that's good. And that's twice, okay. And now we're going to do everyone's favourite minigame, the turtle soup minigame, where we save the turtles from being consumed by the duck, I think it's a duck. But a duck eating turtles? I'm not too sure. But with that, round 1 is done, and now we're going to do round 2 of turtle soup, which just introduces a few more turtles. So turtles can spawn in 3 different locations, but they're all sort of preset locations all the time. Just got to make sure you bonk into them into the water, otherwise they're going to go into the soup, and then that is the end of the turtle. But you can hear where the turtles are spawning, because the game does support stereo sound, but obviously it's just a case of remembering where they spawn, pretty much. And then it's just a case of going boop, and then in they go. It's as easy as that. Because of course, this is Speed Dogs, you know. We're all about the animals and all about the creatures. We respect them so much, and we want to make sure that they're all safe. So we're going to make sure they're not turned into any soup today, and not allow Master Chef to make his... well, it's a green soup, isn't it? It's a bit confusing, the colour, when they're blue turtles, but I don't know. Anyway, with that, that is round 2 done. He's ring-a-dinging his triangle, and we're taking his orb as well at the same time. So now we're going to try and do a double jump over here to the end of the level. Nice. There is another way to get into this area without the turtle, but we didn't need to do that. And with that, Sunny Beach is completed. We get a lovely turtle talisman for our trouble. And with that, we're done. That was a pretty good Sunny Beach, honestly. It's usually one of the harder levels to deal with, but that was pretty good. So with that, we're going to be moving on to the final level of this hub world, which is going to be Aquaria Towers. I totally forgot the name there for a second. Because sometimes, I don't know, you can play a game for so long and then you kind of forget the names of the levels just randomly. So I'm going to skip Moneybags over there because we don't have to pay him to get into this level. It is important that you do Aquaria Towers last, because the moment you finish this level, you get immediately teleported to the boss area, pretty much. But if you do this too early, then, yeah, good luck trying to get out, basically. So, I'm going to hit these buttons here. This is one way of dealing with this level. It does require paying Moneybags 100 gems, unfortunately, to use his submarine, which is 100% shark-proof. His guarantee or your money back. Asterix, you don't get your money back, because he isn't that kind of person. But the other way to do this level is through proxies on some of these critters. And these critters are basically what give you your HP, but there is a way to proxy off them. They're just a little bit trickier to deal with compared to some other proxies, so... I'm going to go over here to the last button. That just floods the entire level now, so the entire level is now underwater. Which is pretty cool. Fun little fact, if you actually come here without the swim ability, you are still able to swim. The game basically puts Spyro into a swim state no matter what. It's just that Spyro can't initiate that swim, so... Now we're going to do a little trick here. This one's kind of one of the easier tricks. All you have to do is just go out of the sort of underground section and just go above the surface and just hold down and charge. And what this does, it starts pushing Spyro away from the sort of invisible barrier and actually goes through it. Eventually, you obviously run out of floor and then you start going out of bounds. And then you can swim around the level. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to Seahorse number 6, and that just ends this minigame immediately. So this minigame here, you would normally have to go rescue 6 seahorses, but we only need number 6, because that actually triggers the orb reward. And now we're going to go speak to Hunter, who's again got 2 more orbs in his flippers this time. And we just have to do this bit of sort of ring practice, I don't know. He just wants us to waste time, basically, for these orbs. He's thinking, oh, it's all fun and games and everything, and Spyro's like, Hunter, please. Please just give us the orb. Like, honestly, we're trying to save the day and everything. And look at him, he's like, well done, Spyro, well done. Do you want to do it again for another one? And you've got to think, why doesn't Spyro just take them from him? Like, honestly, just be like, Hunter, no, just give me the orb. But, unfortunately, Hunter is, he's a sly one. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to waste our time in runs, and we're going to see that later on, potentially, where he can actually really waste our time. So with this, we're just finishing off the last ring section. There is apparently a bit of a soft lock you can do here, which we're not going to do, of course, because we're in a run at the moment, but we are going to try and showcase some things at the end, which are going to be a little bit hilarious to see. Hopefully. So with that, Aquaria Towers is complete. And then we're off to the very first boss fight of the game, Crush. I will also point out that this game has so many hilarious voice lines as well. Obviously, I'm sure people are familiar with just Ripto just shouting, going, "Rah!" like all that. But, like, there's one famous voice line on Aquaria Towers, which is, "Our world is wet again." And, obviously, I'm sure people are familiar with Breeze Harbor's Trouble with the Trolley. So I definitely recommend listening to all the voice lines in this game. And obviously speaking to the NPCs after you've interacted with them have additional lines as well. So with this, we're entering the Crush fight. Crush has 2 different attacks he does. So he does this sort of shockwave attack, and then we just burn him when you can hit him. And the shockwave attack you can easily avoid by just jumping. Then he does a fireball attack later. So we're going to see that in a moment. So once you've hit him, just move away. For the first 4 hits, you only need to move away from him completely. For the last 3, you need to kind of outmaneuver him a little bit to actually avoid his club attack. I'm going to intentionally take some damage there just to skip waiting for another animation with the fireballs. And again, we're going to do it again. There we go. So that's the first 4 hits done. So now the arena changes into a mix of red and blue, but we're primarily going to be stuck on red. So we're going to use our last hit to do that. Then we're going to stand here and then do a double jump just to move out of the way. Makes things easier. I'd recommend getting the sheep when you can, of course. And then go for another hit. Do another double jump. And then we've got one more hit to go. You can actually go and interact with Ripto up there as well. Just got to watch out here because I don't have a sheep right now. Oh, yeah, so that sheep didn't spawn in the location I kind of wanted it. So, with that, first boss fight is done. Crush is crushed. Crush defeated. Yes. And then Ripto goes... "No, Crush!" I had to leave it just hanging, that cutscene there. It's just a great voice line. So, anyway, we're moving on to Autumn Plains now, which is the second of the 3 hubs in the game. This has actually been a really good start. I'm actually really impressed with this start. Sunny Beach was really good. So, anyway, Autumn Plains. To begin with, we've got no HP, so we need to make sure that we refill our HP as soon as possible, because we need gems still, of course. So we're going to go into Crystal Glacier first. I have been learning a new route for Crystal Glacier quite recently, but I'm not going to incorporate it into this, because my practice has been on my older route. And it's a route that I know, and it's a more funnier route because of one minigame we do later. So here we're going to do a double jump off this bone, and I'm going to fall off instead, because why not? If I can get onto the bone, please. Thank you. I'm afraid we can't get onto the bone today. Wow. There we go. So we're going to do a double jump and glide over here. Hopefully get on the ledge, and then get some HP at the same time. Get hit immediately, because that's clearly intended. Going to try not to get hit there. Thank you. There we go. Right, so this is not the best start for Crystal Glacier. I'm going to burn these Eskimos. And I'm going to go get sparks quickly, because I kind of need sparks for the next sections. And we're going to get some replacement gems just right here. There we go. So the Eskimos basically build a little ladder for us, but we can actually just double jump quickly to get up there. You can just double jump up there anyway, but it's a little bit awkward to do so. I was doing the new route then by killing that enemy. Whoops. So with that, we need to do that again, because we didn't make the jump. We're going to have to go over here instead. Not the best Crystal Glacier, but not the worst. Could be really bad. It could have just fallen off, to be honest. So we skipped the moneybags payment there again. Gonna refill sparks quickly. And lose it immediately. That's always awesome. And then we're gonna go up to the end of the level here. And the way we can do it is by just doing a double jump up here. Let's go onto the ledge there, and then we can clip through this because there's no collision. And then we're gonna try and grab these baskets quickly. And then interact with him. And he goes, ow. With that, Crystal Glacier is thankfully done. Whew. That was a bit of a rough one. I keep trying to split as well, but I haven't got live split on, and that's just a natural instinct these days, you know, when you've used it for so many runs, and it's like you keep forgetting, hang on, you don't touch the split key now, because I have no idea what it's bound to on OBS. I don't want to just like accidentally shut down the stream or something. So with that,
you described why I don't have global hotkeys for OBS, because I'm paranoid I'm going to accidentally hit page down and all of a sudden my stream turns off.
I think I've done that once before. So.
It's not a good feeling.
No, it's not. With that, we're moving on to Skelos Badlands. And we're only going to be doing one of the minigames here, and then that's it. We're not doing any of this exploration here. We're coming for the orbs only, and that's it. So we're going to double jump up there to Lumpy. And basically, we've got to save the villagers from the dinosaurs. Just by burning them. These dinosaurs are pretty cool. They've got like a little bandana as well. Kind of a stylistic sort of choice. Gonna go for number 5 over here. Then number 6. They're in certain sequences. So, and then we go at number 8. Once we're up, we'll bang into the NPC there. Burn that one. Fall off. Just to speed things up.
Well done.
And he says, well done. And we get 1 orb. But then, unfortunately, the dragons come back. Because the birds decide to drop more. Now, the pattern's a little bit different this time. This pattern can be a little bit trickier. So we're going to wait till this one burns. 5, 6. Moving on to number 7 before it hatches. And then number 8. And then fall off quickly. Nice. And that's pretty much Skelos Badlands. We're just going to go get the talisman. And literally, the easy way to get the talisman is by just going over here, going onto this bone, and then just doing a double jump up here. That's it. The end of the level's literally just around here. So, this is also one of my favourite levels, because it also has one of the best minigames, which unfortunately we don't get to see in 40 Orb, which is Bone Dance. Where you collect 8 bones, and then we see one of the best dance animations in the entire Spyro franchise. If you've never seen it in Spyro 2, don't worry, it's also in Spyro 3 as well. So you get to see it twice. There are 2 bone dances. It is literally the same character and the same minigame. So, I'm just going to get some more sheep if I can. Ooh, Sparks didn't eat the extra life. That's a shame. That means I'm on blue Sparks. So if Sparks eats a sort of like a flashy butterfly, then you'll get an extra life and a full health refill, which is always nice at times. Now we're on to Breeze Harbour. The Breeze Harbour is where things get a little bit interesting. We talked about air swims earlier, and we're going to do another one later. But first, we have to get rid of these creepy-looking mines that keep smiling at us, just by using the cannons. So then we're going to just get these ones here a little bit earlier by just shooting the cannon in a nice rhythm. Oh, nice. Oh. Gonna lower the cannon there, just trying to get this number. 4. That's it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Where is it? There we go. I've never liked this 4th mine, to be fair. This 4th mine has been really awkward to get. And now we're gonna double jump onto the railway track, which we're not meant to be on. So these collectibles that we're collecting do absolutely nothing. Because we're not in the minigame, so... We're going to get these last 4 mines quickly. Nice. Can we get the other one? Nice. This one's a little bit awkward to get these 2, but it's fine. Nice. Perfect.
Thanks.
You can do a death abuse on that last mine hit to speed things up a little bit more, but yeah. Now, normally we would do a proxy here, but now we've changed our route. We're not going to be doing the proxy there anymore. Because it's either you get the proxy, otherwise you've got to go around anyway and do this. Oops. So we're going to kill this guy first, and then we're going to immediately burn this. And now we've got to quickly go over here and then just charge. And then we've got to get out of here, because that enemy could hit us. And if that enemy hits us, the game crashes. But it crashes in such a violent way, the emulator that we're playing on also crashes. So we've got to be very careful. So we're going to grab that gem there and then swoop around here to get these gems. And that's the end of the level. So basically, you've kind of got to avoid some of the attacks, and you can easily get hit if you're not careful. And with that, Breeze Harbour is complete. We will show off the crash later on, though, at the end of the run if there's time. But for now, no crashes, please. That's the first crash scare, basically done. The second crash scare is coming up later. And we're not talking about Crash Bandicoot. Oh, no, no, no. We're talking about the game literally pulling Spyro, like, stretching him all over the place and everything, so... Right, now we're done with Breeze Harbour. We're going to jump onto this portal up here by doing a bit of a double jump and a glide to sort of flop away on there. It's a little bit tricky, so I'm hoping to get it pretty quickly, because this is quite a decent run. There we go. Then we're going to go up here, get these 2 gems, get the orb from the wall, and then we're going to just make sure that we time our double jump here to flop onto this. Nice, that's good. So this skips paying money bags. I think it's like 600 gems or so to use the ability to get the climb ability, basically. Because right now, the only ability that we've purchased is swim. So that's pretty good. For a long time, that jump onto that sort of white bridge part has been super awkward, basically. So it's actually really nice to get that in a marathon run, for sure. And now we're into Scorch, which is feeling very scorchy at the moment in the UK, because it's absolutely boiling. I am sweating, I am boiling. Stay hydrated, everyone, if you're in the UK. And if you're not, well, stay hydrated anyway. The monkeys. So there's a bit of a meme that I sort of did during the blind race of this game that multiple people from the PlayStation racing community did. Because we did this as a blind race, and that's how I learnt this game originally. And we have a meme in the community called The Monkeys, which is just Hunter just saying The Monkeys. It's just because we cut him off at the perfect time, he just says The Monkeys. That's it. So... And it's funny, because there's a SpongeBob meme that actually kind of does that as well. So... But with this one here, we're basically doing sort of ape escape, except Hunter is the one with the net, and I'm just the dragon just helping him. Even though he's got more orbs in his pocket for us, he wants us to do some of his chores for him, so I suppose it's fair. Anyway, we're going to glide over here, try not to get injured by that enemy there, and then we're going to double jump up here, bash into those. I've just realised I don't have a spark, so I've actually got to walk into all these, unfortunately, so a little bit slower. In fact, I could probably get you quickly. There we go, now I have sparks. So as you can see, sparks is our sort of magnet, basically, of the game. Same thing again in Spyro 1, same mechanic. But of course losing sparks means we lose that magnet, so it's always important to keep sparks topped up as much as possible. Speak to Greta for the Scorch Talisman, and that is Scorch done. And whew, it is getting warm. It is a scorcher, that's for sure. And yeah, so we're going to be moving on to probably one of my favourite levels, Fracture Hills. Fracture Hills, for all intents and purposes, I call it Scotland, because it's got sort of bagpipe music and everything, and it looks cold and everything, you know. I've been to Scotland, trust me, it is Scotland. So, off to Fracture Hills. It's such a great level, the accents are great. I think it's, from the entire Spyro franchise, it's probably one of my top 5 levels, for sure. I don't know what my top level is, though, that's the thing. Because look, the pigs even dance and everything to the music, but unfortunately we might not see that too much. So on this level here, we need to go rescue all these lambs, bulls. We have to go, the musicians, there we go. Sorry pig, I need that HP. Ah, didn't mean to go into the tree then. But yeah, we basically run into these statues, break them, and then they start playing music for us, which also starts destroying the mountain. So, pretty much, that's as simple as that, really. Just got to make sure that these trees are burnt, because if these trees release the bees, those bees are always pretty much going to hit us. They're probably one of the worst enemies in the game, for sure. So I just tend to just get them out of the way. I do need that pig in a second, unfortunately. He will get to dance for a second, like so.
It's great.
Thank you. Right, we're going to burn the tree first. Going to burn this bush before it eats us, and then wastes a few seconds. Then we're going to do a double jump up here, so we can get the orb from this room. Normally you would need the supercharge power-up to do this, but we can just clip out of bounds into that. It's not really out of bounds, it's just like the thing doesn't have collisions really, so I suppose you could argue it is out of bounds, but it doesn't matter. Burn that bush there for later, burn this tree, and then get the last satyr statue. And with that, the castle is complete. Or the castle is, well, released, I should say, from the mountain. So I'm going to watch out for him. I'm going to try and get this HP there, so we're on gold sparks. And then we're going to go speak to the alchemist, who's got this lovely potion. Because we have to, guess what? Go save Hunter. And for saving Hunter, we get an orb. But obviously, to do that, we've got to escort the alchemist to Hunter. So we're going to move these earth shapers out of the way. I'm going to move this one over there. 3, 4, we should be fine. 1, 2, 3. So with that, there the movement's done for those. Now we're actually going to go get the talisman, because we're going to do a little bit of a trick, you see. So if we go get the talisman now, the moment that the talisman message appears, that's us getting the talisman. But the game is programmed to teleport us to Hunter when the orb happens, basically. Or when the alchemist gets to Hunter. So we get the talisman, and then the game basically warps us to Hunter. Look at that. So we get 2 for the price of 1, basically. Now, if you don't time it right, or if something goes wrong with that minigame where the alchemist gets whacked, then yeah, you need to basically do that alchemist section all over again. It's a bit annoying when that happens. But with that, Fracture Hills is done. Now, we're going to be moving on to what is probably, I'd say it's probably the most hated level of the run for me and for many people. It is Magma Cone coming up next. And I'm sure that many of you know why. Magma Cone is probably one of my most hated levels, as well as many others' most hated levels. This has a minigame we refer to as the popcorn minigame, where we have to go meet Hunter in a cave. And in that cave, we have to go play, basically fetch the popcorn against Hunter. So we're competing against Hunter to get an orb that Hunter has. So this is the big Hunter, stop wasting our time, we're trying to save the world and everything sort of meme. It's frustrating. The first round's fine, but the second round, he is so good. So he wants to play a game with us, like, and just waste our time. So around the let me try that again. Around the arena, there's these little vents that keep smoking, and they keep smoking out crystals. So we want to keep running towards all the crystals and grabbing them as much as possible, while making sure that Hunter doesn't get up to 10 crystals as well. For the first round, it's fine, but the second round, he's really aggressive with his grabbing. I should say he's more accurate, really, if anything. But we can yoink some of his as well along the way. So this is a little bit random as well. There is no set pattern, as far as I know, with this minigame. So it's just a case of being good, I guess. So that's the first orb done. Second orb, not so easy. This is actually where we can lose about a minute, basically. So we have to basically be accurate and quick. Because as you can see, Hunter is gathering those really quickly, so... So he's already on 6, so that's what's concerning me right now. So I have to steal some of his now. Yoink. There we go. Oh, got that. Nice. Sorry, so if you see me just being a bit quiet here, that's just because I'm focused. There we go. Whew. So you can see how aggressive he is. Like, he will go for any he sees, and he's pretty accurate on the second round. But we got it first try. It was a little bit slow, but it wasn't too bad. And with that, that is pretty much Mega Cone nearly done. I'm going to try and do a double jump over here, which is good. That lets us go onto the ledge here. This is not intended, by the way, but if you can get up here, then sure, you do whatever you like up here. So we're going to just glide over here, just so we can go up there, do a double jump onto this ledge up here, and then we're going to try and do a long double jump glide over to this volcano here. Nice. So if you land on top of here, it shuts the volcano vent, and it also ends the level pretty much, because we get the talisman. Now, if you don't get it that way, you can actually use the flight gate to get it. But you have to sort of do like an upward charge to do that, so... It's not too awkward once you know how to do it, but basically the game limits you from going too high in a lot of levels that allow you to basically fly. There's like a height limit, but you can bypass that limit ever so slightly with a sort of an upcharge when you're gliding. So it's pretty cool that. We use it quite a bit in Spyro 3 to actually access... what's it called? It's called Whirlwind Bypass in Spyro 3, sorry. It's because I've not done Spyro 3 for a while, so I've kind of forgot some of the trick names then. But Whirlwind Bypass allows us to maintain our sort of power-up for a slight bit longer, but it also gives us the height that we need when the power-up ends, so we can glide out of bounds pretty much and do an air swim. Alright, so after paying Moneybags an extortionate amount of cash, we're on to Shady Oasis. And unfortunately, Shorty wants to have a quick chat with us, but that's fine. Shorty's cool, because he turns into a giant hippo when we feed him. And he also bashes down all the gates and enemies in front of him. It's a pretty cool mechanic, to be fair, because it's kind of unique since he's actually able to kill enemies with his giant form, so... Sometimes it takes a while to eat, so we have to just wait a second. Let's watch out for that. I should be fine for gems, but I'm just going to collect a few more just in case. Gonna do a double jump up there to the tree. The trees can either be charged into or they can be burnt with your flame. Doesn't really matter. Gonna grab that vase there. Oops, and bash into the wall. Still happy with this run though so far. Like, really happy. Gonna grab these gems over here. Like I say, if you see gems along the way on your routes, just grab them. Because in the end, it's probably worth just grabbing them if they're just there. Even a single one can make the difference. So... You might have noticed that we've just picked up a rock in our mouth. That means that we can't use our flame charge for the time being. But that's fine, because we're not going to need that until, like, in a minute, basically. So with that, we're at the end of the level. We're going to go trigger this next minigame here, where we need to go catch the 3 thieves with these lamps, basically. And then we're going to go to the end of level NPC to go get our talisman. And all this time, Spyro's got a lovely rock still in his mouth that he's trying to spit out right now, but he can't until we get over here. So we're picking up this rock because we need this rock to actually hit these thieves, basically. So we want to align ourselves and then just throw it. There we go. Let's make sure it actually hits. Grab that rock and then go down here to go get the next thief. He is located over there. Let me see if I can get him from here. Nice. I was actually a little bit surprised I got him there, but yeah, that's nice. So with that, we're going to the last thief. I'm just going to do a double jump glide over here. Going to grab the HP as well. Do a flame there. Grab some extra gems, even though we don't really need them at this point. Hit the peacock, and then we're done. The peacock was extra. I treated you all to that. And with that, we are done with Shady Oasis. Now, the next level requires us to have 400 gems as well to unlock it. And you might have noticed we only have 331 gems. But we're going to go to an island which has an orb and 75 gems on that island, which is an extraordinary amount of money. That is just lingering there. And Moneybags doesn't even know about it. Yet Moneybags can literally see those gems and those baskets from where he's standing in a moment. And you're going to see that as we go up here in a sec. But this is such a lovely part of the game because it's got a bit of a sort of windy ambience when you get really high up. And I'm going to stay quiet for a second because you can hear it. Yeah, you hear like the wind and everything. It's really nice. I think it's just those tiny things that make the game, you know. I think this is why this game is so memorable for so many people. Oh, let's not do that. And then we immediately go into a panic because we nearly fell off. Yeah, not good. Thanks for the gems, Spyro. With all this cash. Sorry. I love the voice lines from Moneybags. But it's just, yeah, it's just something you just remember what they say and everything. So after paying Moneybags one more time in this game, we can enter Zephyr, which is the final level of this second hub. So to do this, we're actually going to go the normal route. The reason why I'm going the normal route, the quicker route can be a little bit tricky to deal with because you can actually fall off the map and just have to lose a life to do it again. So we're actually going to go the slow way for this one. And we have been doing this again for our attempts, so it's fine. So we're going to hit the door if we can. Nice. I'm going to try and refill sparks when I can, because I kind of need the HP for the boss fight coming up. We'll have to get it in a moment. That's fine. Skip past all these birds. Watch out for that TNT. We'll get that one later, I guess. There's more TNT here. Just watch out. We'll get the HP now. Well, that's an extra life. Always fun. Always fun. And then here we want to go max power on the turret and then just fall down here for a second. The reason why we're falling down here is because if we try to keep moving, we're more likely to fall off. And that's just not good. So watch out for the bird with the bomb in its feet. Speak to Corporal Glug, and then Corporal Glug gives us the Zephyr Talisman, which literally looks like a cherry bomb, which is pretty cool. And with that, we're just going to go over here. We're going to try and do another double jump to this ledge, but it's not a problem if we don't get it. Nice, that's good. So we're going to try and get up here quickly if we can. So we're going to go slightly out of bounds here if I can get up here. And then we're going to glide here, which might look like nothing, but I'm going the wrong way, that's why. And then we're going to go to the Professor, which is basically one of the sort of midway points of another minigame that we've kind of just gone into the middle of, which is the Romeo and Juliet one. So we're going to do another jump here. There we go. Speak to Juliet, which has... Oh, I mean, Juliet's got amazing hair, to be fair. So... And with that, I am done with Zephyr. Whew, this run's good. This run's really good. I'm really happy with this. So with that, we're done with Zephyr. We're pretty much done with all the levels in this hub world, except we have a boss fight coming up now. We have Gulp coming up. Gulp, well, I'm having a bit of a Gulp moment right now.
Well done.
But you'll see why, because Gulp is not a hard boss, but it's just such annoying because it's all RNG. And if you get bad RNG, of course, then it's slower. You can get really bad RNG where you can get a certain attack that is hard to use, which is the bombs, but you're going to see how this fight works in a moment. So with Gulp, Gulp has a massive amount of HP, but that's not going to worry us because basically that HP can easily go down. So right now there are birds coming into the arena dropping eggs. These eggs have tools that we're going to use to attack Gulp with. We want to make sure that we don't get too close to some of these explosions because these explosions will actually injure us. So we want to make sure not to take any damage when we can. Next up are going to be bombs. That's fine. You can actually do double hits, which we're actually going to try and do on this next phase, which are rockets. So rockets are similar to those rocks that we picked up earlier where we can eat them and then we can fire them from our mouth because that's how rockets work. So we're going to pick up the first one, and then we're going to maneuver away to the second one. Gulp is just doing his sort of growl. Going to grab that there, and then we're going to fire again. There we go. That's our sort of double hit there. Because Gulp is sort of not really... He's vulnerable whenever, really. As long as you can do... Oh, hang on. He's not eating that. Unfortunately, neither am I. So we lost the rocket, but that's fine. It's because he saw it, so... He's got 5 HP left, so we're getting pretty much close to the end of this fight. Oh, just want to make sure he doesn't outmaneuver me, that's all. Just want to see what else there is. They're all bombs, fine. I'm not a big fan of bombs because they're really hard to just use, I think, because you need the space. So, hopefully we don't get any more of them soon. Oh, what have we spawned? Rockets, I'll have that. I'll take the barrel, yep. That's fine. Again, just don't want to take too much damage here if you can, so just make sure that you stay away from those explosions. 2 more hits and then we're pretty much done with this fight. This is probably the harder boss of the 3 bosses in the game, at least in this run. I kind of want Gulp to come this way now. There we go. That's the boss fight done. It does a little bit of a dance and then he goes, oof. And that is Gulp defeated. And with that as well, Ripto falls off his chair and he falls off. And that must be the end of Ripto as well. So that must be it, right? We must have done it. Unfortunately, Ripto just suddenly comes back and Moneybag sold him some bombs and he blew up the portal and stole the big red gem off the Dragon Shores portal. So, yeah, shame on you, Moneybags. That's why we rob Moneybags of some of these payments. We don't pay him, so... Welcome to Winter Tundra. This is the final world. I'm actually going to just take that there because I need some HP. And then we're going to do some double jumps over here to get into the castle. Normally you would have to pay Moneybags to do this. But after he sold those bombs to Ripto, why should we do that? Why should we? I'm going to pick up orb number 29. And we're going to take this whirlwind, just because you can either take the whirlwind or the stairs. It's sometimes better to take the whirlwind if you're not too good with the jumps up on the stairs, because you can bonk into them. And then we're going to go over here, do a double jump over there to this ledge, and then to the waterfall. And then we're going to go out of bounds, and we're going to glide into the portal. So in the Spyro 2 and 3 games, portals are located underneath where they're meant to actually be originally, which means you can just go underneath the entrances. And they're actually located out of bounds. How cool is that? What isn't so cool is Dragon Shores, which is considered probably one of the more trickier levels to deal with. This is essentially your bonus level at the end of the game. And normally you would need X amount of orbs and gems to access Dragon Shores. We're going to try and break that by going out of bounds here. Now, I should point out now, if I try to swim in this water, which looks tempting, the game will immediately crash. It will just crash and that's it. So I need to stop there. Do a double jump here and make sure that I get enough height for that. And that gives us the perma breath. So it gives us permanent fireballs now for the rest of the game on this save file as well. So that's pretty cool. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to do similar to what we did with the Breeze Harbour portal here, where we go out of bounds and then do that. I'm going to have to do it again though, this section. I'm keeping my finger away from square currently. Because, yeah, I've done this before in a run. As some runners may be aware of, and yeah, I've crashed it, and I went, no, so I'm going to do a coaster breakout here, There we go. Perfect. And what Coaster Breakout does, it basically breaks us out of the coaster. So now we're going to go over to the theatre. And the reason why we're going to the theatre, we're going to watch a cutscene. See, I'm going to treat you all to the final cutscene. Ripto defeated. Hey! Clearly we've done the game now, haven't we, right? Wrong. We still need to actually defeat Ripto. Doing this cutscene basically removes money bags from the game. And any payments that we haven't done, we actually have paid for now, essentially. So we have all our abilities now. So we have the ability to swim, head bash, and we also have the ability to climb as well. So with that, we're done with Dragon Shores. So we leave Dragon Shores. That was actually very good. And now we're going to do the final few levels of the run with the Fireball ability now. So first of all, we're going to go into Metropolis. First we need to speak to the professor to open it. Metropolis is such a great level. Like, it has, I think it has the most orbs in any level, but it's also the theme tune as well. It's so jammy, it's so futuristic, it's so cool. But yeah, Metropolis, it's a cool level. You actually need the head bash ability normally for this level, but the fireballs act as a sort of head bash anyway. Which is kind of strange, really. Like, you can actually activate the elevators with fireballs, so... Just gonna try and maneuver away from those. Ooh, that sucks a bit. Not a problem. I kind of want to maintain HP whenever I can, so... Missed that HP there, it's fine. And also the fireballs allow us to sort of break some of the minigames, because the fireball, the perma fireball isn't really meant to be collected until you've collected everything in the game. It's a pointless Easter sort of secret in the game. It's like, what's the point of giving us perma fire breath? So, but in speedrun capacity, yeah, we're actually thankful that they do that. So we're going to do a head bash there, and we're going to charge to the right side of this invisible wall to force through it. If we do it on the other side, there's a chance that the game can crash, because the game can sort of lag a little bit. And by a little bit, it lags a significant amount, so... Now I'm going to have to wait till you go around. So we're going to try and fireball these UFOs. Nice. There we go. So with that, we get one orb. So we get one orb for that minigame, so that's 31. And then we get orb number 32 for just completing the level. There are no more talismans in the game now. We've collected all 14 talismans. So at the end of the level, it's just orbs now. So we're going to try and get these UFOs as quickly as we can. Oh, that's unfortunate. It's a fun...
We're shooting some UFOs. Do we have time for a quick donation?
Absolutely, yes. Go for it.
We got a $3 donation from Tempest Mask, who says, "Hey friends, looking forward to doing what I can to help our friend Sable this weekend. Always a pleasure to catch her speedruns in the ever-beloved Mort. Also, gulp moment is a phrase that speaks to my nerves on so many levels. Well said, and whoa!"
Wow, indeed. Thank you, thank you. If you want to do another one, go for it.
That's the only one we have for the moment,
No
but
worries.
I will say, hi everyone, I'm Quill. I've taken over for Dayman, so it's good to be with you all again this year.
Welcome, welcome. And thank you, thank you. So with that, we are now going to proceed on to... again, it's one of those moments where you just forget the name of the level. I do run this game, honest. I have proven that already. But I've actually forgotten the name of the level, so we're going to call it the Swamp. Shrek Swamp, why not? So we're going to go down here, underwater. I'm going to go grab the orb from the waterfall, which is located over here. Orb number 34. We have 6 more orbs to collect now. So we're going to grab some HP and then go up this whirlwind. We're doing pretty good for time. Like, really good for time. So the run seems like it'll PB, I think. Because Dragon Shores went really well. I think that Mystic Marsh is the final level where things can potentially go wrong. Mainly with this waterfall here, or this fountain, because we actually have to do some double jumps on this fountain, so... But, yeah, looking pretty good so far. Ooh, unfortunate. So this one's a little bit awkward. We have to kind of do a double jump and then sort of flop onto it. So this is where we can lose a bit of time for sure. There we go, that's fine. So I'm just going to set my time here. Nice, there we go. Speak to the end of level NPC for an extra orb. So we lost about 15-20 seconds there. Not a problem. Now we're going to go up here. I'm going to go speak to this guy known as Basil. Basil the Explorer. And Basil wants us to go flame some of these enemies that have stolen his spark plugs to his car. Oh, you swine. So I'm going to have to aim now. Sorry. No, no, not in the water. Oh, I'm dead. Whoops. Okay, let's try that again. Right, going to help out Basil. We're going to go over here and not scare off these guys if we can. If you're wondering why I'm pausing as well, I'm trying to skip the animation for waiting for the spark plug to come to us. I know this is not the right order for any runners watching. I'm kind of just out of order now, and I'm a little bit lost, I guess. Oops. That's not a problem, though. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, that's not good. You know when I said it was PB pace? Well, we might be losing that soon. It's fine. That's the beauty of speedrunning. If there's not mistakes, then it's not speedrunning. So we get number 3 over there. Gonna try and see if I can get the spark plug there. Thank you. Where have I lost the last one now? I am confused. I apologise. There he is. That was not the best Mystic Marsh, that's for sure. Not the end of the world, though. Wahoo! Yes. Wow, that was a messy level. I've never had such an abysmal Mystic Marsh. But it doesn't matter. So, moving on, we're on to essentially the final main level of the run. So we're on to Robotica Farms. But first we need to go get an orb from this rock that's just outside. Oops. So we're just going to do a head bash. And miss it. That's cool. There we go. Nice. So now we're going to have to do another head bash there to get inside. And then we're going to go into Robotica Farms. Oh, Robotica Farms isn't a bad level. We've got 3 orbs to collect. So end of level, we've got this sort of scarecrow minigame that we have to do, and there's a supercharge minigame. And then we're heading to Ripto, which is the end game. So Robotica Farms, we need to make sure that we kill 15 enemies. We need 15 enemies killed just so we can use the supercharge gate later. So I'm just going to make sure I try and dash this as quickly as possible, just to get as many enemy kills as possible. Nice, that's good. That'll do. 7, 8, and we're going to get a few from over here. I'm going to scare these bugs off for a second, because you can't really hit them there. And then I'm going to hit them from here. Because for some reason you can't hit them on the first one, but then the next one you can. And then he says, my fields, because they are his fields. So 9 there. I think we're good for enemy kills, I think. 10. I need that one, yep. 13. 14. Okay, and then we're going to move up here. Can. Quickly. Nice, there we go. Right, so then that's the end of the level orb collected here. Ooh. That was it was a stressful Mystic, but it's fine. Like, the rest of the run's been amazing, honestly, so... Right, that's fine, we'll take that. So here we use the supercharge kit to charge into everything along the pathway. We can't use the fireballs on everything. The only things we can use them on is the pumpkin, so we actually have to use the supercharge for these doors over here. As long as we get these 2 doors, we're fine. Last pumpkin, done. And then that's the last orb of the game. That's all 40 orbs that we need to go do Ripto legitimately. Not through the cutscene viewer. So yeah, we're getting really close to, I won't say we're getting close to time. We've still got like 2 odd minutes to go. So yeah, Ripto. Ripto is going to be pretty easy, because we have fireballs, of course. We can't see as well. Nice. Nice. Let's go up here. But yeah, really happy with this run, and it's been really fun to showcase it. Oh, yeah.
All right.
I forgot I need to speak to Alora. It doesn't open automatically. The things that we have to work for in this game. Ripto. So, as people are familiar with the Ripto boss, potentially, normally you would have to collect orbs around the arena, and then if you get 3 orbs, you get to use a special ability against him, whereas he can also do the same too. We don't need to do that. Oops.
Spyro, we want.
So we just fireball him repeatedly. Just keep doing that. And that's phase 1 done. Phase 2. And then phase 3, we're actually going to have fireballs anyway. So that's what you'd normally have for this boss fight. So phase 3 is actually the only normal part of this fight. And as you can see, it's trivial, this. So now this is where this boss can go wrong, potentially, for me. But let's see how we get on. Nice, that's good. Come on. Come on. Come on. Sorry, I'm just going to be a little bit focused here. Because I've enjoyed this run so much, it's been fun to present it. But I have to focus on defeating Ripto now. One more hit to go, come on. Time is going to be coming up the moment when the screen fades to black. Time. Oh, it's a sub 1. Oh, lovely. I know the timer says 1 hour, but it was a sub 1. Wow, that was... Oh. I was thinking sub 1 is probably going to be possible, because that is actually my main... Well, my current main goal for this game. Wow. Oh. Whew, I am sweating. And it's not just because it's hot either. But yeah, that is Ripto defeated. He goes... I don't know where Ripto goes. He goes into the lava. Moneybags is back, of course.
I don't think we can.
Elora's like, well done, you know, and Spyro's like, huh?
I suppose you have to go.
And then, of course, now we go enjoy our holiday in Dragon Shores. Yeah. I just want to see Hunter get Moneybags for a second here. Because Moneybags has a bit of money to give us again. Of course, he is telling the truth, Moneybags. He has no money. But, of course, Hunter's like, nope, just sit on him anyway. And with that, that is Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. But before I go, I did promise you some crashes. And we're going to show a couple of those crashes off. So we're going to go, first of all, to Dragon Shores. I'm going to do one of the main crashes that I mentioned earlier, which is pretty much easy to do if you do the speedrun. So obviously you can't get in as normal, so we're going to be going up here, out of bounds. Now at any point, you can obviously swim, but the problem is if you swim at any point here, the game just crashes. Yeah, it just does that. So that's crash number 1. I have to quickly reboot the emulator, so bear with me a second. It might just look blank for a second, but we will be right back in a second. That is not Spyro 2, that is Spyro 3. You just got a sneak peek of a different game then. Hey! Right, Spyro 2, there we go. So, crash...
In a funny coincidence, we did get a $3 donation from Kitsune of Dreams, who says, "Get yourself a nice vacation, Spyro." I don't think the vacation is in the crash, but...
I see.
Maybe Spyro does enjoy a good crash.
Indeed, indeed he does. So we're going to show off, hopefully, a crash quickly in Metropolis. So you saw me earlier go through that sort of invisible barrier in Metropolis. There is a way to crash if you go the wrong way where that barrier is, because, as I mentioned earlier, the game heavily lags, like, a lot in some locations. In Spyro 3, it's like that as well. Spyro 3 is not a stable game in some levels. Like, it is really unstable in some instances. So we're going to go through this level quickly, just to the, you know, where the bull minigame was, basically. Let's go past all these pigs and everything. Cows, pigs. Well, there are cows and pigs, I suppose. It's crazy the amount of different creatures in this game as well. It's really cool. I don't know why I'm trying to go against that bull. Right, try not to go into the boss fight if I can, so... Okay, so now that we're here, I'm just going to quickly do a save state right here. And I'm going to try and see if I can crash the game by going through this side. There we go. So you can see there's just so much lag being generated from the from the sort of invisible wall that the game is just like, nope, can't do that anymore. I'm sorry. So that's crash number 2 I can show. I've got crash number 3 coming up, which is going to be probably the last crash that we can showcase. Spyro 2, fresh boot. Always do a fresh boot just in case, because like I said, I don't want to just like load into a crash again. Otherwise, yeah, that's not good. The game should come back up in a second, and if it doesn't, let me know. It's because because it crashes so hard. It's like, I think, there we go. I'm not too sure if you saw the last crash, but I'm hoping that you did. Anyway, crash number 3. Again, the problem is when these crashes happen, sometimes they crash the emulator because the game is just not functional. We don't actually want to kill that one. We want to kill this one though. Gonna do the air swim as normal. And this is kind of one of the more funnier crashes because of what happened to Spyro's ragdoll, basically, or his model. So there isn't anything to tell the game what happens when Spyro gets hit by an enemy while he's swimming in this level, because normally you don't swim in this level. But if you get hit by an enemy... Oh, wait for it. Oh. There you go. His entire model just gets ripped apart, and then the game is like, yeah, nah, that's too much for us. Oh dear. And that is unfortunately...
That's so beautiful.
That is beautiful. I have one final thing to show though. I was playing around with the game, and I broke it in Breeze Harbor again. There was a code basically that allows you to increase the level of detail to make like the textures more like high definition and everything, and it was absolutely beautiful, that. So let me showcase that quickly off. So I haven't got the ability to show how it happened, but that's one example of what can happen basically. It's sort of terrifying. There's also this one as well where he's got no head, but the game is super laggy right now. Like, the game hasn't crashed, it's just going really slow at like 0 frames a second now. So a lot of shenanigans are happening right now. Eventually it does catch up a little bit, but you can see how messed up this is. And you can do this in Spyro 3 as well. And with that said and done, I am going to leave it there with this beautiful screen here. And I want to say a big thank you to SpeedDogs for letting me run at SpeedDogs. It's been really wonderful to showcase this game. I appreciate everyone coming down and watching this. I hope to encourage some more runners for this as well. We need certainly more 40-orb runners. Not 14 talisman, please. Please don't do that. But 14 talisman's a really good category to do as well. So with that said and done, I'm going to leave it to our wonderful hosts to take you through the next runs that are coming up. And thank you very much for your time today, everyone, and see you later. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gene. Great run. Really enjoyed having you. And as Cece said in the chat, we'd love to see you at SStat, which submissions for will be opening on Sunday. So be prepared to do some submissions, both Sounds you good. And chat. And on that note, thank you so much. We'll throw it over to a little break while we set up the next run, and then we'll see you at the next run.